My name is Rodrigo Ramirez. I am Associate Professor at the School of Design of Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile in Santiago. I am also a researcher in information design in the National Research Center for Integrated Disaster Management, the CIDI2023. And I am also a founder of the Design Network for Emergency Management. Today, my presentation is called Inputs to Optimize Risk Communication, Testing Preferences in Icons for Emergencies. The disaster risk management is a changing paradigm from mitigate the impacts of disaster to the management of risks. So emergency scenarios constitute complex experiences with large requirements for information. Principles such as disaster risk reduction and disaster risk management promote a multidimensional approach, defined, for example, cycled with stages before, during, and after an event. Communication here becomes fundamental for a safe experience. Design information has a decisive role in optimizing emergencies. Applying principles from information designs, messages can be optimized in this critical scenario. However, everyday information tools appear to be less effective during and after an emergency. This is a diagram developed with some colleagues in the Design Network for Emergency Management about the key moments for information. You can see here the experience before, during, and after an emergency event. And from the perspective of the disaster risk management, you can see the stage associated to before, focused on preparedness and prevention. Then in the moment during, when an event starts, is the moment for reaction and mitigation. And then after is the moment for recovery. So some information design actions can be articulated for every stage. For example, before, identify, prepare, learn about the hazards, learn about the procedures, identify your risks. Then you can make a lot of effort diffusing, for example, promoting some messages. The moment when the emergency starts is probably the opposite. It's the worst moment to learn something new, to be informed about something. So in this moment, probably you need to articulate, to facilitate the reaction, decisions, reporting, among others, actions. Then the moment after, the recovery part is probably one of the most uncertain stages of the emergency. You never know when you will be completely recovered. So here, the approach is about icons as information tools for emergencies. Visual tools can aid in the understanding of risk and hazardous scenarios, from identification, prevention, and preparedness before to reaction during and active recovery after. Icons constitute a paradigm of visual communication, epitomizing elementary principles of information design. So this can be graphic tools to be seen, understood, and activate decisions. However, usually these graphic tools are not measured in their performance. A design proposal here, a design project, is this set of icons. It's an open access, open source set of icons called Gemel. Gemel is a Mapudungun word meaning symbols in the Mapuche language from Chile. We, beyond the visual design, we also test these icons. We have developed, adapted 2 different tests to make this part of the research. We test about meaning, asking people about the how or what this does represent this icon, one icon that we display. And in the test that we are presenting today, we are asking people, users, participants about which of these different alternatives does represent a given meaning. We collect for every part, for every stage of the testing, we collect at least 200 responses or 200 participants per each icon, per each item. This paper presents the preferences test. Here the question, as I mentioned before, is which of these icons, alternatives, does represent the given concept. Participants associate representation with, in this case, 15 given concepts to collect associations depicting a particular element, an icon, or a whole composition, for example, a sign. The objective here is to identify which representation participants can connect with a given concept this is what we call the preference. In the case of the research presented in the paper, we collected 283 participants, mainly from Chile, 242, then 17 from Japan, and 9 for Argentina. No participants from Brazil, so we can work on that. And 181 participants were female and 94 males. 8 participants preferred not to respond about their gender. The results you can see here in this slide. The different approaches from, for example, tsunami alarm, safe location, the responses that we can collect about evacuation way, connectivity, tsunami hazard, warnings, and so on. We have collected 15 different alternatives, items that we have asked to people about, participants about this test. In the discussion and conclusion part, results reveal significant associations to integrate visual resources into DRM, the disaster risk management, emerging clear associations. For example, in warning, the main preference is 206 preferences in 283. Other depicting less known significant references show clear preferences. For example, in vertical evacuation, 182 versus 86 of the rest of the alternative. So far, visualizing results challenge prevalent ideas pre-assigned to icons. For example, this idea of universal language on the representation of emergencies. Icons can be considered as an effective resource to communicate emergencies. However, it is important to continue tests to evaluate on a continuous basis. So this is also a call for collaboration. These 3 insights developed in the paper allow to open discussion on the role of visual information towards the articulation of the emergency experience. For example, taking into consideration familiarity, performance, and the right knowledge for DRM. So, as I mentioned before, I am more than open to collaborate. Please write me an email or contact through the different platforms that we are presenting here in this final slide. So thank you again to the CIDI team for this invitation to participate into this conference, and I'm open to collaborate, to share, and please open also to receive your comments from the reading of this paper, of this research paper. Many thanks again, and greetings from Santiago. Ciao.